So, I said I wasn't going to work, but I'm playing a game that's making me think a lot. It's 1770 now. The revolution is kicking, right? It's like Prince and the new revolution. It's jamming at this point. People are full on. Like, I'm walking through Boston. I go to the store, order some stuff, and it's sent to the carriage. I go out, and people are agitated, running through the street, screaming that they're going to some building. And I'm like, oh, what's happening? And I go to my dude, Achilles, right? Now, mind you, in this game, this is what I think is great. In this game, you're playing as a half native, half Briton, right? And he's being trained to be an assassin by a black man, right? You know, you got to think nowadays that would mean something, but back then it didn't really mean anything. It was just kind of like, hey, we'll do that, you know, okay. It makes sense after playing 4. Makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So, here we are. Anyways, so I go and find him, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, we're going to go find out. So we walk to this government building, and there's a line of British redcoats standing out front, and there's a guy telling people to calm down, go home, right? And the people are like, fuck you. So they're screaming. Now this is the funny part. As I'm walking through town to get to this scene unfolding, there's people screaming, let's go to the Capitol building and insult the lobsters. Stuff like that. Not, let's burn it to the ground. Not, let's go to Wendy's and burn that shit to the ground. No, it was, we're going to go and yell at them. So I'm like, alright, cool. So we go to yell at the fucking redcoats. And, yeah, we're yelling at the redcoats. And then the bad guy, he sends a dude with a musket, like, off. And my dude, he goes, look, follow that dude. Find out what the fuck's going on, right? So I follow this dude through buildings and shit. He climbs up to a roof. I climb up to the roof, right? And, you know, gotta get ready to shoot somebody. So I'm like, fuck that. So I go up and I kill him. Right? So I kill him, right? And I tell him his plan won't work. And he tells me I'm fucking wrong. And he kind of looks over at another dude, and I look over at that dude. And that dude, he just shoots. He doesn't even shoot anybody. He just shoots one shot in the air. Right? He shoots a shot in the air. The redcoats freak out. They start shooting civilians. Now it's a massacre. Right? The bad guy, the big bad guy that sent the other guy to go start the thing, he grabs one of the redcoats and points at me, standing on the roof. And I'm like, I ain't fucking do this, right? So I try to stop that shit. So I gotta run. I run and I get the fuck out of there. And I'm like, oh God. And they're already putting up fucking wanted posters of me. I'm like, God damn, they turned this shit around fast. Right? And I run across Samuel Adams. That's right. I meet Sam Adams. And he's like, hey, want a beer? And I'm like, sure. So he gives me a beer. We drink a beer together. And that's pretty cool. And then he's like, look, you're in trouble. My dude, Achilles, which is my dude, Achilles, he's like, he asked me to help you out. And I'm like, well, fucking A. So he's like, look, here's what we do. He's like, see all those wanted posters? Tear those shits down. And I'm like, alright. So I go around and I tear down some wanted posters, and that lowers my notoriety. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then he's like, alright, look, here's another thing we can do. He's like, you see this man right here? He's going to help us out. And he drops some coins in the man's hand. And the man goes out there and he goes, hear ye, hear ye. New reports just coming in that the person involved in this massacre was wearing a disguise. And everybody's like, oh, and the guard's like looking at his fucking poster going, oh shit. Right? Lowers my notoriety even more. Oh. And then Sam Adams takes me to the printing press place. And he pays the printing press place guy to not fucking, to change the posters so they ain't me. And I'm like, fuck yeah. I just learned how to control the media. Destroy the story, pay people to tell the story differently, and then ultimately print it the way you want it to be recorded for history. Right? Even that person out there that has no fucking clue what I'm talking about, God said, honk your horn for emphasis. It needs to be done. Here we are, right? So I learned how to manipulate the media, but I learned how to manipulate the media to tell the truth. It's the craziest fucking thing. They manipulated shit to lie. I manipulated shit for it to be truth. And even Connor, half native, raised as a native in this great land of ours, just coming into all of this stuff, he goes, that's dishonest. And Sam's like, yeah, but it works. And he goes, it just doesn't feel right. There's just gotta be a better way than doing this. And he's like, hey, we didn't start this shit, remember? They started the lie, we're fixing it. And he's like, yeah, I don't like it. And Sam goes, well, tell you what, you figure out a better way to do it, let me know. And that was the end of the fucking discussion. And I'm like, because I'm sitting there going, it's honestly kind of sad that I was like, rah, rah, fuck yeah, let's pay these motherfuckers off and get some truth out there. And my character's like got better morals than I do now. How low I've been driven. But I agree with Sam. And start this shit. So do what you gotta do. But man, this game, it's prophetic. At this point, this game is almost prophetic. It's almost like a prophetic training simulator. You gotta understand, you gotta climb into shit, understand what's going on. And this fucking game is an amazing comparison. It's life imitating art. Life imitating art, imitating life. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. Made me giggle as I'm playing through it. Share it with you guys. I don't know when the fuck I'm going to post this because I'm still on vacation. This might be part of the fucking Monday dump. I'm going to take a big old dump on you guys Monday. Whatever. As I play through this game and see other fucking things go, and other funny things going on, then I'll probably make little videos like this talking about it. But oh my god, that shit just made me fucking laugh, cause I'm just like, what if you had? I mean, think of it like this. With as corrupt as our world and the people within it are, right? Left or right, no matter which way. I mean, if you're on the right, you already agree with what I'm about to say. Doesn't really matter. I'm just telling you what you already fucking know. If you're on the left, though, listen to what I'm saying. Get in the boat. We're going to go down this logic stream, right? Think of it like this. If you really think all of the politicians, more or less, are that corrupt, I guess if you really think that everybody on the left, Nancy Pelosi and all them, they are just the truth tellers of the fucking world, right? But if half of the country can be so goddamn corrupt, and the other half of the country is so damn great and wonderful, right? You got to think of it like this. 90% of the media goes along with Nancy Pelosi and all them. So if they're the good guys, they're in control of like all the media. except Fox, right? And somehow Fox, all on its own, is so powerful in its lies and corruption that it is keeping up 50-50 with the opposition that has control of everything else. You know what I mean? Like, it really makes you wonder who the real truth tellers are. And hey, you can go look, if you really want to think that you are just this close to edging out all of the bad people, it's not working. Something in there must be wrong. You have so much control and yet you're failing to at least that degree. I don't know. At some point, I'm not trying to say start questioning whether you're right. I'm just saying, why aren't you questioning? Like, just questioning things. Like, just why aren't you questioning everything? Just question it all. I don't care. You question me enough. But you guys just kind of take everything they say as writ, law, and lore. Just question everybody. Question them with as vehemently as you question me just one time and see what you come up with. You know what I mean? Just try it. Devil's advocate for me. One time. Do it as a homework. Right? Maybe take the impeachment template that I put the link to. Maybe I'll have to try to put that in this. I'll have to try and remember to put that in the link of this video. But if I don't, somebody in the comments remind me. Take that impeachment and impeach Nancy Pelosi. Like, they do this shit all the time in like debate clubs and stuff like that. You got to debate a point of view that you don't agree with. You have to figure out a way to try and defend it. Right? So I would like for the leftists in the audience to dig deep and try. This is your homework. Try. You know what? Maybe we'll make a contest of this too. The leftists out there have to dig deep and impeach Nancy Pelosi for me. Write me up in an article of impeachment to get rid of Nancy Pelosi. And the one is that I believe is the most factually based and the most accurate. Maybe you'll get a piece of artwork. Wouldn't that be cool? Right? And no, you don't get a return address. It goes one fucking way. So you give me the address you want it to go to, or somebody in the fucking post office gets it. Don't look at me. Right? You don't get an return address. Nobody does. The people that really, really love me and really, really work hard to get artwork of mine, they don't get a return address. So, doesn't happen. So if you're doing it for that reason, just letting you know. But nevertheless, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. That would be fun. I think that would be fun. I'll have to give that idea also to the contest. Because again, I don't do these things. I come up with the ideas, I give it to them, they run the contest. All complaints go to them. So yeah, I don't know. It's just the thing made me laugh. But yeah, impeachments. I can't wait to start impeaching people. All right, I'm done. I'm going back to the game.